it's just cool. This. Have you guys seen this book? My wife got this for me. Gabby got this for me not too long ago. The Jimmy Page Anthology. Man, for Jimmy Page nerds, it is just the coolest thing ever. So, question for you guys is, have you ever heard a riff, or written one maybe yourself, that it is just the ugliest riff ever? And I think if I wrote something like this, I'd be like, that sounds terrible, and I'd probably never use it. And then you have someone like Jimmy Page who turns it into the coolest riff ever. So I'm curious to know what your terrible, your ugly good riff is, because this one's one of mine. So, Dancing Days, we haven't done one of these videos where we just nerded out about a riff in a while, and I was like, man, this is such a cool riff. And I think it's actually a little bit impossible to play on your own. You know, there's a video of Page playing it with Robert Plant from 1995, I think, and obviously Page is Page, so he does it. But I'm pretty sure this is like a very multi-tracked song. The way you hear the parts falling on top of each other, I'm like, it's impossible for one person to play this at the same time. So it's a classic case of Jimmy Page just studio mastery. You know, he's layering this stuff, because if you listen to the beginning part, and I'll break down some of the stuff here in the video, but he does this, he goes, and it is such a crazy hard stop that there's no way that the next part, you can play it. There's such a hard, like, bop on that note. So it's definitely some like layering going on here, and Page creates a version of it that he plays in that live clip. So right away, what makes this song interesting is, and let me know what's your favorite ugly good Zeppelin riff, is the fact that it's an open G. So it's an open tuned riff. If you don't know what that is, my guitar is essentially tuned to an open G chord. We've got D, G, D, G, B, and then D. So get rid of all them E's. We don't need those in here. Ain't nobody got time for E's. And he has this strummy way of playing a riff on top of chords. So we're going. Okay, so that's kind of the opening part there. Then now. And lots of little things happening in here. So I really want to try to write something that is a riff that is composed of these little pieces put together in a recording to make a riff that maybe you couldn't play on your own 100% correctly, like the recording. So you have this going on, and he's kind of just strumming through the A string down to the B, and I'm just holding down single notes. It's 2 and 3 on the B. And that's all it is. And I think if I came up with that riff, I'd be like, that doesn't sound like something I'm gonna use, and I'll never use it again. But Page sees the beauty in some of these ugly riffs, and I'm like, it's so cool. It's like my ears can't tell, like, do I like it or do I hate this riff? and they're like, no, you definitely like it. You hate that you'll never come up with a riff this cool. So you have all that going on, and he does add the little part where he slides up on the D and the B. But almost what's cooler than that, I think, is this next part, these chords. It just goes into that, you know, that next level of creativeness. So right here. So one of the cool things about open tunings is obviously you can just bar your finger and get really cool chords by, you know, not really doing anything other than just covering the strings. It's kind of like drop D, but next level drop D. So Page has this chord here, and he might be barring all the way from the A to the B, 5th fret, and you're just bouncing from 6th fret on the B. Bow, down, down, down. Oh, and then he goes up a half step to 6. Now, what happens here is he's adding 8th fret on the B. So you have... Again, I'm like, who in the world thinks of this stuff other than Jimmy Page? Back down to this one. And he does the same thing, kind of, but he throws in this little pull, which is actually a little bit tricky. Now that's just 8, pull off to 6, pull off to 5. So and then you're gonna do a little rock and roll shuffle. And what's interesting about that to me is you're kind of doing that rhythm the whole time. Which is a very standard blues rock thing. You know, you're kind of doing that. But you're doing that rhythm with these chords. So he's taken something from the blues realm and really twisted it and made it sound dark and kind of mysterious. Like, I don't even know what to compare this riff to. Like, it just there's nothing else that it sounds like. Something like that. Now he starts it again the second time, slightly different. The first time I did it, you know, you had kind of barring 5th fret. He does that, but he starts with 6th fret. Okay, so it's very similar, but just a little bit different. Oh, and then he walks down. Down. So I'm barring 3rd fret now. And using 5th fret on the B. The same exact thing we did up here, the pattern of it anyways, when I was on 6 and 8. I was at 6 and 8. He's doing down here. Then he drops down. Again, it's the same riff, but like he's playing them in different spots and making it sound different. So barring 2nd fret now, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 3, and then 5. A little pull-off second. And instead of doing the kind of standard shuffle that he did up here, he does it, but he makes it even uglier. I mean, it's just a masterclass of being creative with sounds. You know, sounds that on their own sound like very... I don't think that sounds very good. Like, you hear those things, but you put them together in this like soup, and then you've got an amazing song. I mean, like, you learn stuff like this, and it always is so inspiring to me, because the creativeness, the creativity that's locked inside of it, I'm like, man, this is good. You know, maybe I shouldn't give up on some of these riffs that I think I'm like, do I like this riff? Do I not? Like, it'd be a really good challenge to push yourself to try to create one of these ugly good riffs. So anyways, let me know what your favorite ones down there in the comments are, or let me know your favorite Zeppelin riff that you're like, dude, it sounds ugly in all the right ways. So I'm going to try to end it bluesy, open G tuning style, which probably is not going to end very well because I don't play in open tunings very often. But yo, we're going to do it anyways, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And if you want more of these nerdy riff videos, just let me know down below in the comments. So anyways, here we go. Okay, that's cool. I can dig it. All right, later, guys.